Hello, dear soul, and welcome to the Light Bearers Library. My name is Kate Harmony. Have you ever considered that you might be a highly sensitive person, also seen as HSP? This is highly likely if you're here on my channel, because 20 to 30% of the population are actually born as highly sensitive people. I had never thought of myself as particularly sensitive. And so you might not have really considered looking into it either. And I would suggest that you go and take a test I'll leave the website below. I think it's hsperson.com. And I was shocked because I picked up Elaine Aron's book. Elaine Aron is the person who did the research and came out with her book in the early 90s talking about this trait. And I started reading her book, The Highly Sensitive Person, and I was actually quite shocked that I agreed with everything that she was asking. There's a bunch of questions. I think there was 23 questions and I got 20 out of 23. I think I was listening to the audiobook, so they weren't numbered, but anyway, I got most of them, and I was shocked and flabbergasted that I am a highly sensitive person. And so perhaps you are too. Here's some questions you might want to consider. Do you like deep conversations? Do you get rattled when you have a lot to do in a short time? Do other people tell you that you are good at understanding what they are feeling or thinking? Do you tend to reflect deeply on things? Do you make a point of avoiding violent movies or TV shows? Do you notice or enjoy delicate or fine scents, tastes, sounds, or works of art? Do you have a rich and complex inner life? These are just some of the questions that are on that website that kind of get you thinking about, maybe I am, maybe I should look into this. So I've spent the last week kind of reorganizing my memories and my life around this idea of being a highly sensitive person. And it's incredible how much of my life it actually explains and why I feel like I've struggled so much in my life. And so I would offer this as something that you could look into, because I think if we were to understand ourselves as having been born this way, and, and be able to educate ourselves about, about ourselves, and then offer that to our family and our friends to let them know, it would help us to all understand each other better. And I think, yeah, the world would be a better place. And that's what I'm all about, right? Let's try and make the world a better place. But I think I've read, I think I'm into the 4th chapter now, and it's actually quite intense. So I've been taking it very slow. So if you start reading the book and you recognize yourself in it, do look after yourself and take it slow, because it's your whole life that you're potentially seeing through a new lens and shifting your perception of yourself and your perception of your life. The hardest part for me has been realizing how horribly I've treated myself, because I didn't know this, and I just thought I was, abnormal in some way compared to lots of my family members, compared to society and the world. This, kind of go and do. And I just couldn't understand why I couldn't keep up, why I tried so hard. And when I failed, I would, berate myself. And I have, this sort of mean inner critic voice. And perhaps that made me think about the term inner critic. And perhaps people who are highly sensitive but haven't realized that about themselves have this inner critic because they're criticizing themselves for being not like other people, and when they were born with traits that make them different from other people. So please do take the test, read about it, see if it relates to you, because it could be that that negative inner voice in your head could start to dissolve as you start to realize, that you're a sensitive soul in there, and we should treat ourselves kindly and not. We can have proper expectations for ourselves, and knowing that we need a lot of rest and a lot of quiet time, a lot of, reflection time, or we need to not be around loud noises, or, whatever it is that you need. It's a need, not a nice to have, we need to take proper care of ourselves and have proper expectations for ourselves. So we're not beating ourselves up when we fail to reach expectations that are not even, that we can't even meet, So, and I think it doesn't make us weaker. It actually makes us stronger when we know this about ourselves, and we can make better decisions for ourselves in terms of, where we choose to live, what relationships we engage with, or create boundaries and step away from. And I think it would help us to create boundaries. I know a lot of people struggle with boundaries, but if we were to realize that we're highly sensitive, then maybe we would start to protect ourselves more and stand up for ourselves and say, this isn't it's just, I can't do that. Whatever that might be. And, and to start with, just within our own minds, we would start to be nicer to ourselves. So I am still going through this whole shift of seeing my life and my memories and my childhood. And, I had a wonderful childhood, and, but sort of going into university and growing up, it's just it started to get harder and harder. Life did. So I'm really grateful that now in my 40s, I can know this about myself and hopefully be kinder and be able to thrive more by treating myself in a more kinder way. So if you yourself know this about yourself, I would love to hear from you how you've changed your view of yourself, how it's helped you to make decisions for your life. If you haven't looked into it and find out that this is something that you are, please let me know in the comments. And I would just love it if you would subscribe to the Light Bearers Library. I find all of your comments just so wonderful and inspiring and encouraging to me. So know that I'm here in the comments to cheer you on and in your journey of self-discovery and in being kinder to ourselves and others, to make the world a kinder place. Okay, well, I wish you many, many blessings. Signing off for now, XOXO, Kate.